Skyrocket your discipline and willpower with this one thing. Now you must be wondering, what is this one thing? One thing that would, well, skyrocket, and I mean it. Emphasis on the word skyrocket. Your discipline and your willpower in life. You wanna know? Let's stay for a second here. It's cold exposure. It's pretty simple if you are a person who has tried cold exposure himself or herself. You know the power cold exposure has on your mind and your body, and how it can just literally transform your life instantly. Instantly. It takes you like, if you just for 10 seconds in the shower, cold shower, you feel that. And what do you feel? We're gonna talk about that. And how it changes your mind and makes it more disciplined and more willpower. Let's get started. Cold showers and cold plunges. Cold showers is what are generally the best for everyone because they are a great starting point. Of course, everyone can do it. Well, not everyone. If you live in the Gulf, I live in Dubai. If you live in a country like this, if you don't have a chiller in your apartments or your villa, wherever you live, you can't really get cold water here. And otherwise, the water is always hot. It's like it's like the pipeline is coming direct from hell. It's that hot. We have to literally get buckets and store water in them here. And no, and one can stand there for long periods of time when training to do so. If you are privileged enough to live in a country which is cold, yeah, you could just take a shower, just like in the UK or in the colder countries in Europe or somewhere in Canada. If you live in Antarctica, even that's the best. Anyways, starting from cold showers, I think it's just the best way to get started with cold exposure. Because if you start with cold plunge, it's a different phenomenon because instead of you submerging your entire body into something that is so uncomfortably cold, it could actually kill you if you're literally in there for a long time. It will shock your heart and get a heart attack literally. That's why cold showers are a must. Start with the cold shower and then train yourself to like at least survive in the cold shower, like 10 minutes, literally cold exposure, and try not to do it too much on your head more than on the body because head can get freezed up. It's not a good thing to do. Breathe, focus on the breath. Anyways, let's not get sidetracked. Cold plunge is the ultimate way to do cold exposure and is the most effective way and more effective than just a cold shower. Well, I just said submersing your entire body into that cold plunge, that is much more effective than just pouring little droplets of water continuously on you. Every great man, every Huberman husband now does cold plunges and cold showers. I don't feel like people talk about this much. I don't know for what reason. If a business guy, let's say, if a rich guy does cold exposure, that would literally transform him and make him much more rich. If you are a young man who wants to get success in life, you need to take cold plunges because they are not a life hack. I don't like the word life hack. Hacks are things like just wearing earbud, like noise cancelling. What I don't know what do you call them? Earbuds in your ears before sleeping, or IMA. Those are hacks, little things you can change. But cold plunge is a philosophy in itself. It's an entire way to change your physiology. Think of Wim Hof, different guy. We'll talk about him in a bit. And this thing will give you a mind of iron to do anything in life. Because just think about it. You're in an uncomfortably cold situation, uncomfortably, and your body doesn't like uncomfort. Because we know in the previous video I said from suffering comes growth, just like in the last bicep curl you do, the last squat you do. Growth. I mean, next time you do, you can do another rep because your muscle has broken down. Just like with cold exposure. For example, if you take an ice shower for like 2 minutes, that's max you can do. Next time you can do like 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, doesn't matter. As long as you're improving it every day, that is what growth actually is. Now, moving on. Now, I'm going to talk about the benefits of cold exposure. The cold exposure, cold shower, physical and mental benefits. Recovers one from workouts instantly by reducing inflammations and soreness. I can tell from experience after I have done a great workout, an amazing workout, and I'm done for. I am tired. My body is screaming, Heather, stop, stop. Afterwards, the first thing I do, if if I do take a cold shower or a cold bath, that's how I recover. Immediately as I pour the first wave of water on myself, my body instantly recovers because of the inflammation. When we work out, there's a lot of blood flow causing inflammation, especially the way I train. I do a lot of, let's say, you can see, I do a lot of boxing right there. I do every single day. I do hypertrophic training, so my body is always in stress. But the thing is, you're not supposed to take cold shower after you train, which is like related to muscles and all that. For example, strength and hypertrophic training, bodybuilding. Do not take a cold shower after that because it restricts the growth of the muscle. And moving on, boosts mood and relieves stress. Try this for yourself. It will spike your dopamine by 250%. It will give you a lot of motivation to do your work and it will give you a lot of energy. It will just make you such a happy person. I have a list of things that make me happy. Cold exposure is in one of the top 10, top 5 things that make me happy because of the like 530% increase in neuroadrenaline. Woof, 530. Damn, that's a lot. And that, like, these are the neurochemicals which are responsible for our well-being and just life in general. And the studies show us that these are how it's very fascinating to me. Like, just cold water can do so much. Treat cancer. It has treated cancer. Treat depression. Treat everything, like mental, physical problems. Wim Hof, the Iceman. Most of you must have heard of him. His wife died, suicided. 4 children he had because her how depressed and pain and like the grief must be so much. And what he said, and what he has said countless number of times. I have seen so many of his videos, so many of his articles I've read, so many of his blogs I've read, and each and every one where he talks about this about his wife. Cold exposure healed him, and I can speak from it myself. If something like that, God forbid, happened to me, cold exposure would definitely, and I know it will cure my depression and anxiety and all these neurological disorders. Moving on, it amps up metabolism, improves immune system. Let me just delete this. Yeah, improves immune system metabolism. What is your immune system? Well, it is the ability to fight off diseases. Now, whenever I am consistent with my cold showers, I never get sick, never. The only time I get sick is when I stop doing them. Literally, I used to take consistent cold showers for like 2 months or like 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks straight. I stopped, and like 3 weeks after that, I got sick terribly. And I am sure if I continued taking my cold showers, I would be perfectly fine. So that gives you a sign. Start taking your cold showers if you don't want to be sick. Wim Hof, he says in his documentaries and his interviews, he has never gotten sick because of the cold exposure. It just makes sense. Literally, when you take cold exposure, you know how your body conditions to such extreme conditions, external conditions, that nothing else, like, like nothing compares to the pain of that. Yeah, and it also decreases depression, fatigue, anger, tension, confusion, and it increases your vigor and your self-esteem. I want to make this video brief because this is the part of my YouTube career where I'm gonna make brief videos, but soon I really want to make full guides on why all these things are so beneficial, because I feel like I can talk about this for hours and hours and all the benefits of it. Cold showers, cold exposure doesn't only have mental, physical, but mental. I think it's all about mental. And just think about it. A guy, his wife suicided, and cold showers, cold exposure healed him. Quite, quite ironic and quite interesting and something to think about. This is your sign. Start taking cold exposures. Now, how do you take a cold exposure? Very simple. I just said earlier on the video. If you live in a cold country, take a shower, turn on the cold side of the water, take a shower for like 30 seconds, and slowly build up, adding 10 seconds each day, or depending how disciplined or strong you are. Keep adding more time each and every day. Start small, because it can really affect you in a wrong way if you do this in a wrong way. Number two, if you do not have the privilege of living in a cold country, what you can do is, if you live in a hot country and you don't have the access to cold, just if you have the money, buy a cold ice pod in which the water cools itself. You know, I've seen a lot of advertisement of that here as well. But the easiest way, fill a bucket up with water. All right, what I do, for example, I want to take a cold shower in the morning or in the afternoon. The night before, I take a bucket, fill it up with water. Doesn't have to be a huge bucket, just a bucket normal. Fill it up with water, and take another, like a huge, what do you call it? Like a huge dish, or a huge, like a bucket that fits in your freezer. Biggest one you can find that fits in your freezer. Freeze it overnight. Wake up, or whenever you want to take the cold shower, dunk it in the bucket, the water bucket, and let the ice melt. What I do when I put the bucket there, I break it off by a hammer, into little pieces. It makes the ice melt, and the water is freezing cold. It's amazing. I just take a little, like a little spoon, like a little cup, and just pour myself all over. I pour the cold water all over myself. It's amazing. It's beautiful. That's it. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you giving me your time and your attention, your most valuable asset of life. And if you want to watch more videos like this, do subscribe, like, comment, and do share my videos, because that will give me the motivation and inspiration to keep making more free guides for you and giving you value free of cost. What I want is just your attention and the things I ask for you. I'm really passionate about giving knowledge to people and just improving their life, and this is what all this channel is all about. And again, if you want to take cold showers, always start small and progressively overload the the time and the temperature of the water. I'll see you soon. Take care.